Yes. All we need is a good plan to start with, and you are the best one for that job because you know your capabilities, and you are the only one who does. Yeah. I guess that is why it is said that you can't do it for someone else. They have to do it for themselves. Now, obviously, I can't arrest people. Yes. I don't have a badge. You do. Now, I can do for myself. Yes. But I can only do for myself if you enforce the laws. When you don't enforce the laws, I can't do for myself. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say, yes, that I spent quite a bit of money on my own person, finding out what my strengths are. I was a stockbroker, yes, commodity trading advisor, a loan officer, yes, and I had a few businesses, yes. But somebody kidnapped my sons, and then they act like, well, we just don't have to enforce the laws. Now, I can do for myself what you do for yourselves, yes, because I do not have arresting authority. You do. Now, let's look at it. The actual identification, known as the Washington State driver's license. Somebody changed the height on the license? Yes. Someone changed the weight on the license. Somebody changed the address of the license. Yes. Somebody added in a space where there didn't used to be a space. Yes. Somebody said that I was involved in crimes that I wasn't involved in. Right. And your thought was, well, you're going to keep yourselves out of prison. Yes. By lying about my mental health. Yes. Now, let's say that I can do what I know I can do because I tested myself to find out what my strengths are. Yes. My natural strengths and my supernatural strengths. Yes. And I spent all that money going to college. Yes. To find out what's my strengths. Now, you will have to do what you are capable of. You can remove your fraud because of the use of forgery. Yes. You can remove the dissolution of marriage because there was no rights to myself or my sons. You can remove all the arrests because I was not the individual. And you can be prosecuted for refusing to enforce the laws. Now, let's say that every individual that works in my company, yes, I give them what's known as a strength profile. I design the job around their individual strengths. Yes. And oftentimes I talk about the volunteers and the employees, yes, that come to work. I know their actual sexuality profile, what they will do and what they won't do. Yes. I know their employment profile because I had them, yes, fill out a questionnaire about what their strengths and weaknesses are. Yes. I do not ask employees to do what they're not good at. Oh, I ask them to do what they are good at so that they want to work for me. Mm-mm. Now, let's say I wanted to get involved in business in Russia. Well, I designed, yes, a drone that fertilizes land. Ooch. You know those drones that we use for surveillancing the population? Yes. Why don't you give me all Homeland Security's drones? Yes. And every drone that's available that has a camera on it that can take pictures of weeds? Yes. And cattle. Ouch. Now, a lot of these drones are remote controlled or satellite controlled. Yes. Is there any airplanes that don't want drones knowing where they're flying? Ah. Are there any airplanes? Yes, that have satellites connected to them so that they have internet access. You know, a lot of these billionaires, shush, they have this problem of being able to disconnect from technology while traveling. They have a kind of technological addiction. Yes. Where they just have to be connected all the time. Now, I know you say that there's nobody, yes, in that billionaire class of persons, yes, that when they get into their private jet, They like to put a little invisible shield around themselves. Yeah. So nobody knows what they're looking at on the internet while flying from point A to point B. But how do you get internet access to a private jet? Do you think they connect themselves to the DSL line at their personal residence? Or do they have a satellite that provides some sort of. Well, why don't you get me the private jets of the billionaire class? Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of them, yes, are working on some top secret technology that they just can't seem to disconnect.